The Islamic in Education Assessing the Discourse Farid Panjawi Institute for Study of Muslim Civilization London United Kingdom abstract. The paper assesses the domain discourse on Islam in education that argues for an education different from an exclusively Islamic vision. In addition to exploring the historical roots of this discourse, the paper analyzes it with respect to its argument for Islamic vision on in education, conception of Islam, and proposal for the the implementation of such a vision. It proves that seeking to overcome these weaks, the course will have to recapitulate several elements, including its conception of Islam in approach to the history of Muslim. If similar searches were made today, however, one could feel entirely buried with books carrying titles such as Islam and Democracy, Islam and Capitalism, Islam and Science, Islam and West, and certainly Islam and Education. By exploring this course on Islam education, this paper seeks to evolve the underlying assumption of this discourse. The advocates of Islamic distinctly Islamic approach to education also differ among themselves on various matters. Some argue for a common interfaith religion framework on education, the Islamic academy, while others claim and least implicitly a suppression of the Islamic approach over those of other religions. Within this framework, some writers restrict the notion of Islamic the religion's education. Others argue for complete education system different from him an Islamic perspective. While still others argue for the whole Islamization of knowledge. This paper seeks to critically assess this approach by exploring the following: the constructor of argument for an Islam approach, the underlying concept of Islam used in writing, and practical proposal for the implementation of Islamic education. Argument for an Islamic approach. A contemporary discussion on Islam and education usually begins with a critique of Western and Western-based educational system and society that have a significant Muslim population. Professor Ashraf Ali, a leading proponent of Islamic education in UK, writers underlying this paper, this conviction firstly expressed that education in Britain today all too frequently promotes an unly secularized approach to life, uh, rather by failing to note this shared concern. Much of the later Islamic education contributed, uh, perhaps unintentionally, to widening the gap between Islam and the West. Perhaps the reason that many of those who wrote about Islam and education failed to colonies that their critique about education system are widely shared by Muslim and non-Muslim scholars is the conviction about this solution. They, they wish to over rather share critiques of education in Western as well as Muslim society simple serve as a problem to their pro- proclamation about religions in this case Islamic solution. Conscious Islam in Islamic education here, we come to central issue with the discourse on Islamic education, namely is underlying conception Islam. In this imported therefore, to ask what conception of Islam underpins the discourse on Islam and education being examined, examined here. Compatibility of Islam and science, and to claim that one-time Muslim societies were far more advanced than European societies in sense at first, his approach often called apologetic from this sought to profit and apology for Islam was thus a complete system of thought seeking to argue for the inherent compatibility of Islam in West knowledge and to explain the contemporary situation of Muslim. It is this apologetic sense and the accompanying conception of Islam as ideal that underpins the discourse on Islam and education being considered here. Islamic in the press, Islamic education means that uh, education is intimately related to Islam, which got completed and perfect over 14 counters ago. For instance, while booming, the divide between the secular and religion is the contemporary education system which claim that the Islamic concept of knowledge is unitary. Quoting some Quranic verse, he claims that in the past Muslim scholars were trained both in religion scholarship and in scientific and philosophic field, which he sees as an example for the practice of the unitary concept of knowledge in Islam. It's only through such oversimplification or a misrepresentation of the history of Muslim that apologists have been able to present Islam as an ideal and proclaim it in to be the solution to contemporary issue, from theory to practice implementing Islamic education. How does the discourse fare when it comes to proposing solution to the problem is identifies? It is thus no surprise that when one rare occasion some writers attempt to describe in detail the implementation of project of Islamic education, the result is hard different from what is being proposed in other secular texts, albeit with reference to Quranic stream and history of Muslim. Remarking on proposal for Islamic University, Sardar notes that despite the Islamic trappings, the model that Bill Graham and Ashraf are offering diverse light from Western University. He is a genius. His genial Islam proposal is that is in Islamic teacher training and a reasonable percentage of a mark have been allocated to the observation of ibadah and Islamic moral and value. Seconds, the Islamic in appeals to is a theoretical Islam that talks don't be its advocates to be grounded in scripture. It is simple projection of whatever is value to others at the gift times. Treats most us the writing on Islamic education failed to provide any feasible and creative solution to the problem of education. The apologetic approach, which is a stress on ideals and glorifies past needs to reconsider, bring to bear the reality of Muslim history as a history of human beings who continues but imperfect have so to grapple with her human condition and in light of their interpretation of Islam ideals. I think the kind of Islam that you are describing is Islam in theory, while Hassan is seeking to define Islam by applying to ideals. Manji is proposing to bring in human agency, in this case Muslim themselves, into the picture. Responding to a question about Islam and modernity, Abdul Karim Soros summarized this notion of historical Islam as follows: first of all, we have the uh, phenomenon of Islam. Through the development of Islam, there have been different schools of thoughts and ideas, different approach and interpretation of what Islam is, what it means. Thus, and any given times, the history of Muslim, the ideals of Islam were understood and practiced in many different ways. The divine will has always been resolved, received through human receptance. Similarly, Abdullahi an-Naim, while discussing the issue of human rights, argues that in my view, the question can be meaningful only when this both Muslim, not Islam. Perhaps uh, in this time that research on education and Islam take notice of this shift and being focusing on Muslim rather than on Islam. Thus, one soon realizes that there is no single unitary concept of the knowledge in Islam, but rather that there are many concepts of knowledge held by Muslim in different times and plans, and that this concept were interacting with each other and with other partin concept. We're we're interacting with each other and with other partin concept, giving them both a level of stability as well as fluidity. Okay, this journal from Farid Panjawi from Institute for the Study of Muslim Civilization, London, United Kingdom, and the title "The Islamic in Islamic Education: Assessing the Discourses." That's all for me. Thank you for everything.